You ready to start again? I say, murmured Horton, I've never heard tell of a small speck of dust that is able to yell. So you know what I think? Why, I think that there must be someone on top of that small speck of dust. Some sort of a creature of very small size, too small to be seen by an elephant's eyes. Some poor little person who's shaking with fear that he'll blow in the pool. He has no way to steer. I'll just have to save him because, after all, a person's a person, no matter how small. So gently and using the greatest of care, the elephant stretched his great trunk through the air, and he lifted the dust speck and carried it over and placed it down safe on a very soft clover. What's a clover?
It's like a little grass.
It's like a little glass, like a little grass, like a little piece of plant. Humph, humph, a voice. 'Twas a sour kangaroo, and the young kangaroo in her pouch said, "Hump, too. Why, that speck is as small as the head of a pin. A person on that? Why, there never has been." "Believe me," said Horton, "I tell you sincerely, my ears are quite keen, and I heard him quite clearly. I know there's a person down there, and what's more, quite likely there's two, even three, even four. Quite likely a family, for all that we know, a family with children just starting to grow. So please," Horton said as a favor to me, "try not to disturb them. Just please let them be." Think Horton has good hearing?
Yeah.
Why would he have good hearing? What do you think?
To hear a tiny little speck, you need like super ears.
You'd have to have super ears. Elephants' ears are kind of big. You think that maybe helps a little bit?
Yeah.
"I think you're a fool," laughed the sour kangaroo, and the young kangaroo in her pouch said, "Me too. You're the biggest blamed fool in the jungle of Newell," and the kangaroos plunged in the cool of the pool. "What terrible splashing," the elephant frowned. "I can't let my very small persons get drowned. I've got to protect them. I'm bigger than they." So he plucked up the clover and hustled away. Through the high jungle treetops, the news quickly spread. "He talks to a dust speck. He's out of his head. Just look at him walk with that speck on that flower." And Horton walked worrying almost an hour. "Should I put this speck down?" Horton thought with alarm. "If I do, these small persons may come to great harm. I can't put it down, and I won't. After all, a person's a person, no matter how small." Would your arms get tired if you had to carry around a clover for an hour? Maybe his trunk would.
I did it for a quarter of an hour. I had to drop it.
It could get tiring. Then Horton stopped walking. The speck voice was talking. The voice was so faint he could just barely hear it. "Speak up, please," said Horton. He put his ear near it. "My friend," came the voice, "you're a very fine friend. You've helped all us folks on this dust speck no end. You've saved all our houses, our ceilings and floors. You've saved all our churches and grocery stores." So Horton was right. There's more than just one person on that, isn't there? "You mean," Horton gasps, "you have buildings there too?" "Oh yes," piped the voice, "we most certainly do." "I know," called the voice, "I'm too small to be seen, but I'm mayor of a town that is friendly and clean. Our buildings to you would seem terribly small, but to us who aren't big, they are wonderfully tall. My town is called Whoville, for I am a Who, and we Whos are all thankful and grateful to you." And Horton called back to the mayor of the town, "You're safe now, don't worry, I won't let you down." What are they doing in there? Some things that you do: playing tennis, mowing the lawn, taking a ride, just like any other city or town, huh? But just as he spoke to the mayor of the speck, 3 big jungle monkeys climbed on Horton's neck. The Wickersham brothers came shouting, "What rot! This elephant's talking to who's who are not. There aren't any who's, and they don't have a mayor, and we're going to stop all this nonsense, so there." They snatched Horton's clover, they carried it off to a black-bottomed eagle named Vladikov, a mighty strong eagle of very swift wing, and they said, "Will you kindly get rid of this thing?" And before the poor elephant even could speak, that eagle flew off with the flower in his beak. All that late afternoon and far into the night, that black-bottomed bird flapped his wings in fast flight, while Horton chased after with groans over stones that tattered his toenails and battered his bones, and begged, "Please don't harm all my little folks, who have as much right to live as us bigger folks do." But far, far beyond him, that eagle kept flapping, and over his shoulder called back, "Quit your yapping. I'll fly through the night, I'm a bird, I don't mind it, and I'll hide this tomorrow, Will, you'll never find it." The way you guys are sitting and paying attention. I know that's hard. And at 6:56 the next morning he did it. It sure was a terrible place that he hid it. He let that small clover drop somewhere inside of a great patch of clovers 100 miles wide. "Find that," sneered the bird, "but I think you will fail." And he left with a flip of his black-bottomed tail. How easy would it be to find that one clover? All those. It'd be easy?
No.
It'd be really hard.
Why do you get call for it?
Call and try to find out. That was pretty mean, wasn't it? "I'll find it," cried Horton. "I'll find it or bust. I shall find my friends on that small speck of dust." And clover by clover with care, he picked up and searched them and called, "Are you there?" But clover by clover, he found that the one that he sought was just not around. And by noon, poor old Horton, more dead than alive, had picked, searched, and piled up 9,005. That's a lot of clovers he's gone through. Then on through the afternoon, hour after hour, till he found them at last on the 3,000,000th flower. "My friends," cried the elephant, "tell me, do tell, are you safe, are you sound, are you whole, are you well?" Pretty good friendship to spend that much time chasing them to try to find them, isn't it? From down on the speck came the voice of the mayor. "We've really had trouble, much more than our share. When that black-bottomed birdie let go and we dropped, we landed so hard that our clocks have all stopped. Our teapots are broken, our rocking chairs smashed, and our bicycle tires all blew up when we crashed. So Horton, please," pleaded the voice of the mayor's, "will you stick by us who's while we're making repairs?" "Of course," Horton answered, "of course I will stick. I'll stick by you small folks, through thin and through thick." Humph, humph the voice. "For almost 2 days you've run wild and insisted on chatting with persons who never existed. Such carrying-ons in our peaceable jungle. We've had quite enough of your bellowing bungle. And I'm here to state," snapped the big kangaroo, "that your silly, nonsensical game is all through." And the young kangaroo in her pouch said, "Me too." I don't know if I like this kangaroo. They're not very nice to other people, are they? With the help of the Wickersham brothers and dozens of Wickersham uncles and Wickersham cousins and all the Wickersham in-laws whose help I've engaged, you're going to be roped and you're going to be caged. And as for your dust speck, ha, that we shall boil in a hot steaming kettle of bezelnut oil. "Boil it," gasped Horton. "Oh, that you can't do. It's all full of persons. They'll prove it to you." Mr. Mayor," Horton called. "Mr. Mayor, you've got to prove now that you're really there. So call a big meeting, get everyone out. Make every who holler, make every who shout. Make every who scream. If you don't, every who is going to end up in the bezelnut stew." Down on the desk, the scared little mayor quick called a big meeting in Whoville Town Square, and his people cried loudly. They cried out in fear, "We are here, we are here, we are here, we are here." Can they be loud enough? The elephant smiled that was clear as a bell. The kangaroo surely heard that very well. All I heard, snapped the big kangaroo, was the breeze and the faint sound of the wind through the far distant trees. I heard no small voices, and you didn't either. And the young kangaroo in her pouch said, me neither. Couldn't hear 'em. Grab him, they shouted, and cage the big dope. Lasso his stomach with 10 miles of rope. Tie the knots tight so he'll never shake loose. Then dunk that dumb speck in the bezel nut juice. Horton fought back with great vigor and vim, but the Wickersham gang was too many for him. They beat him, they mauled him, they started to haul him into his cage, but he managed to call to the mayor, don't give up, I believe in you all. A person's a person no matter how small, and you very small persons will never have to die if you make yourself heard, so come on now and try. Are elephants strong? They use lots of rope and lots of people, and Horton was trying not to let them catch him so he could protect the Who's. The mayor grabbed a tom-tom. What's a tom-tom? Yes?
A tom-tom is like a thing you would cheer with, like a little, like it's kind of like made of like confetti thingies, and it's like a little ball thingy.
Could be, and sometimes tom-toms are like drums. Here's the picture. So what's he trying to do with the drum? What's a drum? Does it make a good sound? Yeah, okay. The mayor grabbed a tom-tom, he started to smack it, and all over Whoville they whooped up a racket. They rattled tin kettles, they beat on brass pans, on garbage pail tops and old cranberry cans. They blew on bazookas and blasted great toots on clarinets, oompas, and boom pops and flutes. Whatever they could to make lots of noise. That make a lot of noise? Make more than just yelling, wouldn't it? Great gusts of loud racket rang high through the air. They rattled and shook the whole sky, and the mayor called up through the hollowing mad hullabaloo, hey Horton, how's this? Is our sound coming through? And Horton called back, I can hear you just fine, but the kangaroo's ears aren't as strong quite as mine. They didn't hear a thing. Are you sure all your boys, are they doing their best? Are they all making noise? Are you sure every Who down in Whoville is working? Quick, look through your town. Is there anyone shirking? What's shirking mean? Yes, sir. Taking a break, but they're not doing their part to help everybody out. But being part of the team. Through the town rushed the mayor from east to the west, but everyone seemed to be doing his best. Everyone seemed to be yapping or yipping. Everyone seemed to be beeping or bipping. And it wasn't enough, all this ruckus and roar. He had to find someone to help him make more. He raced through each building. He searched floor to floor. Running through all the buildings, the town, trying to find if there's anybody not helping make sound, right? And just as he felt he was getting nowhere and almost about to give up in despair, he suddenly burst through a door, and that mayor discovered one shirker, quite hidden away in the Fairfax apartment 12J, a very small shirker named Jojo, who was standing there, just standing and bouncing a yo-yo. Not making a sound, not a yip, not a chirp, and the mayor rushed inside and grabbed the young twerp. There he is, just quietly with his yo-yo. And he climbed with the lad up the Eiffelberg Tower. There, cried the mayor, is your town's darkest hour. The time for all Who's who have blood that is red to come to the aid of their country, he said. We've got to make noise in greater amounts, so open your mouth, lad, for every voice counts. Thus he spoke as he climbed. When they got to the top, the lad cleared his throat and shouted, Yup! And that yup, that one small extra yup, put it over. Finally, at last, from that speck on that clover, their voices were heard. They rang out clear and clean, and the elephant smiled. Do you see what I mean? They proved there are persons no matter how small, and their whole world was saved by the smallest of all. How true, yes, how true, said the big kangaroo. And from now on, you know what I'm planning to do? From now on, I'm going to protect them with you. And the young kangaroo in her pouch said, what do you think? Me too, exactly. From sun in the summer, from rain when it's fallish, I'm going to protect them no matter how smallish. So they were able to do it, weren't they? Doesn't matter how big you are, but if you work together, guess what? You can make things happen. All right. Very good. Thank you for letting me come over and read. All right. You guys were wonderful. You sat still and you paid attention, and I know that's very hard to do. So thank you very much. You've been an awesome class. Can I come back and do it some other time again?
Yeah.
Thanks.